Let's go ahead and dive right into it. With that, Donald Trump is returning to the White House. So what is the stock market going to make of that? Here's investment strategist Stephanie Link on CNBC.
We already have a decent economic environment. We're running at about 2.5% in GDP. The consumer continues to spend. You have a lot of cash on the sidelines, $6.4 trillion in money markets. So I think you're going to see a nice rally into the end of the year. Remember, under Trump, his first term, from the eve of the election to mid-March of 2017, the S&P 500 rallied 11%.
So now that the election is over, what are you telling clients that may have been sitting on cash for the past little bit?
Well, I would first say I haven't had clients sitting in cash. We have felt really good about the environment for investment for the last 15 months and even longer than that. And our models here have been running quite nicely. And, you start looking at things like, is the stock market overvalued? Are we in a bubble? And the simple answer is no, we're not. Things are not overpriced. And with Trump being elected, I want to say reelected, but that's not really true. With Trump being elected and having a Republican government, I think he's got 2 years. I think there's a couple years that we could see some blockbuster growth if he's able to deliver on the promises that he made to people during the campaign. And you know how that works. Some of it's true, some of it's not. But, time will bear that out. But the people that are sitting in cash, I think this would be a great time to deploy that money and get it into the market. And should you be playing index-related things, or should you be playing individual types of stocks? You know what? I think if you're picking companies that are very profitable, have low debt, and have solid cash positions, which is what the retirement headquarters models tend to do, I think you're going to do quite well.
100% agree, Dave. Also, that for the clients that are in cash isn't necessarily a bad place to be at any time, especially if you're, looking at reliable sources of income. Money market rates are still pretty favorable, even though interest rates are dropping. I always heard cash is king, and you definitely want to have a cash reserve available for emergencies and opportunities, of course. And those opportunities, we might see some of those coming up in the future. I know the stock market's at an all-time high, and it's difficult to pull the trigger when the market just keeps going up and up and up.
We've heard a lot of talk already in less than a week that they call it a Trump trade. And they'll be talking about companies, and some of them are in the technology sector, others are in the healthcare sector, and they're saying, well, this is a Trump trade because the policies that he's espousing will give these companies room to run, and that very well could be true. I would also caution on the side of saying, even if it looks like the market could be smooth sailing for a while, things could get interesting. What happens if all of a sudden some of Trump's picks are not being confirmed? What happens if the world leaders are not reacting? They might be reacting positively out front, but maybe behind the scenes they're saying, oh, no, we want to kind of hold the United States to the fire a little bit. We're going to find out. And I think most importantly that an investment portfolio should be nimble, and it should be able to make changes when changes present themselves. And so, yeah, I think there's an environment for investing that exists because of this election.
We've always spoken here on the show, throughout the history of the show, about being able to, pivot whenever necessary, make the changes whenever necessary. And, there may certainly be a buying opportunity in just a little bit, but it really depends on your comfort level, your risk tolerance and things of that nature. That doesn't change as, regardless of who is in office, who is, in charge in D.C. at the time. But if there are opportunities out there, as we talk about so often here, threats and opportunities, you want to find the right blend and make sure that regardless of what's going on in Washington, your retirement is ultimately preserved. And with proper planning, like you get at America's Retirement Headquarters, you can maintain that plan, stay the course, and enjoy that retirement that you've worked so hard for. It all starts with crafting that plan. And the phone number to do that, reaching out, giving a call, 419-794-3030. Once again, that's 419-794-3030, or you can find them online as well, and that is at arhq.com.